Hello everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, been told to do an impromptu, hopefully a quick reading today. Um, the Spirit often speaks to me through song, showing me what the influence is, washing over people or the collective or the world at the moment. And for the last 2 days, I've woken up with Christine Aguilera song called, I think it's Keep On, I'm Gonna Keep On Singing My Song, that song. Obviously, I'm sure many of you know it. Those who don't, please look it up and have a look at the lyrics. When I went to, because it was just the songs play over and over and over in my head, particular part of a song keeps playing over and over in my head until I look at it, address it, say it to the person it needs to be said to or whatever. So it's kind of like I get nagged from spirit. And so when I went to my phone, because I had that song on my phone, when I went to my phone to play it to see if there was anything further to do with the song that I needed to know, just to tap in with it, I had forgotten the name of the song and I accidentally clicked on another song of hers called Soar, S-O-A-R, as in soar like an eagle, like a bird. So I started listening to that and I went, oh, how amazing. And then in terms of the messages that were coming through from Spirit and the energy of the song, and then realised that's not the song. So I looked further down, found the Keep On Singing song. And so they want me to talk to you about both of them just briefly. I'm trying to make this as quick as possible. So they're both songs about inner strength. They're both songs about no matter what trials or tribulations we perceive that we have before us, that you can soar above it and that you can keep singing your song, keep singing your truth, yeah? Keep stepping forward in your truth. So not letting what others say get to you, not letting what others do get to you. The theme, one of the themes of it I got was in the past, in the sort of, let's say in the last 5 years, whatever, but there's been this period as we've come to the end of the 9 year, the year of the snake, last year 2025, there's been a lot of the abusers of perceived power have shown their hands. Okay, and so many of us have felt beaten down and trodden on in the last few years, and so what that's done, the processing of that has made us look at the past in our lives from childhood where cycles and patterns began, where we can see, if we look back over time through our lives, yes, that same theme or that same thing was always happening to me. And it's sort of shaped how I've perceived myself and perceived my life, and can make you feel sorry for yourself and all that kind of thing. And so this is a message of strength from Spirit, from the divine, from the universe, saying keep going no matter what you perceive the challenges are going to be moving forward in the future, no matter what you perceive, how dark it could get for you or whatever, keep going, because there's a lot to be said for the human spirit and for your spirit. And so stay strong in that, no matter how bleak it looks or no matter how much you've gone through to get to where you are today. and you feel knocked about. And I kept on hearing, what's the point? I want to do this, or I've been doing this, but what's the point? What's the point? Because this is happening, or that's going to happen, or that's threatening to happen. What's the point of me doing this? Do not stop. Do not stop what you're doing. If you started something new in the last year that's been giving you clarity or strength, or the ability to just keep putting one foot in front of the other, or it's centered you, or it lifts you up, anything like that, keep doing it. The point is that you persist and you will soar, and humanity as a group will soar. Okay? If everybody gives up, then we submit to what we perceive are the challenges of the future. And then we're susceptible to energies or people or systems that don't serve us, just running us over. Okay? And that's not what's meant to happen. Okay? We're meant to find our inner spirit, and no matter what it looks like moving forward, no matter what's going on around us, no matter what's happened in the past, you keep going, because you sing your truth, you step your truth. Yeah? Keep putting into those things and feeding those habits and projects and activities that lighten you up. Okay? You may not see it prospering right now, but it will. It may not prosper in itself, but it may lead you to a place where you do something else that do you understand what I'm saying? Like it one step leads to another. We don't have to see instant success in any particular thing that we do. We do it because we enjoy it. We get something from doing it. Whether that's exercise or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is that you're been putting your energy into. The act of doing it lifts you up, clarifies you, refines you, strengthens you, enlightens you. So that's the reason to keep doing it. It's not about some said outcome that then we think, oh, there's going to be these challenges. It looks like the world's going this way, and oh, it's all scary, and there's all these people threatening to do this and threatening to do that. Let it play out. By keeping on singing your song, you keep that frequency and that vibration. You keep putting that out into the world, but you keep it for yourself as well. And it has, and Spirit's saying it has an effect. So just keep on doing what you're doing. If it's destructive, what you're doing, self-destructive or harmful to others, and obviously don't, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? So have a look at or have a listen, have a look at the lyrics, have a listen to those songs, and they really are uplifting in that they're songs of inner strength and courage. Okay, so keep moving forward with integrity and doing what it is that you are doing for yourself. And Spirit said to me that because of what we've experienced in the past, we're thinking, oh, there's signs of more of that. There's signs of more of that. What if I haven't changed enough to deal with that when that's coming again? Or, it's like when trials or challenges come before us, it's like, oh, not again, it's happening again, that kind of thing. Don't think like that. The past is the past, leave it there. Okay? Do your processing, all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying ignore the past. I'm saying moving forward, you've learnt so much because of what's happened in the past. You have learnt from it and are stronger for it. And so you're going to respond differently to any challenges put before you in the future because of what you've learnt from the past. I think some people are feeling in limbo and in a bit of a lull where it's like, what's the point? and doubting themselves and doubting their own strength and doubting their own fortitude and spirit, basically. It all makes a difference, so keep doing it. So this obviously is a general reading, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest for consideration later on, or for another person it might be relevant to. If the examples I don't give don't resonate with you, it doesn't mean that the message isn't for you. So also I've been told, Spirit said to me in this last week that some of my videos, no, those are the wrong words. Okay, give me the right ones. My videos, even if I put a time frame on it, like, you know, navigating through the season of Sagittarius, for example, or I say this is a weekly reading, sometimes they're saying not sometimes. Often what's happening is that the messages that are put into those videos from Spirit that I channel are for the future. So if you find yourself looking at a previous video of mine, if you watched it when I first made it, it may not have fully resonated then, but they're kind of futuristic. So Spirit's saying to me, sometimes you come across older ones, watch them because they'll make more sense to you. Because there's things that I say that make sense in the future. That's all I feel to say on that. I don't know why. That's what Spirit's told me to say. It made me clear on that in the last, say, week and a half. Yeah, maybe take a look back at my previous videos, and it could be, you know, it might go for an hour, it might go for 20 minutes, but there might be one seed of thought, one moment of clarity where you get your aha moment. Okay? So tell me, Spirit. I wasn't planning on doing a video today. I've got so much to do. And then the song started again. I'm like, oh, goodness. Okay, tell me, what do you want me to do? So just feed into your strength and do what strengthens you. Okay? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Sometimes people put so much pressure on themselves to perform in a spiritual way, or to live in a spiritual way, or whatever it is, to always look at things from a higher perspective and all that kind of stuff, and they're looking for their strength within that spiritual realm, and that's awesome. And Spirit's saying, don't forget that if you don't strengthen your body, like another way to that is to strengthen your body. Don't forget that strengthening your body also strengthens those other energetic bodies. Okay, it's the act of doing things that strengthen you physically can also strengthen your mind, strengthen your resolve, strengthen your whatever. Okay, so sometimes we're doing things that we don't realize are connected to other things. They're not related to it, but by doing it, it strengthens those things as well. It's a message for somebody. So we have the Chariot, and I was thinking, actually, Spirit said to me, you're going to say that you won't be surprised if the Chariot card or the Strength card come out. And so that's why I kind of had a giggle when I saw that, because I forgot to say that, and there we are. And underneath we've got, had a little peek before, the Death card. So transformation, there's the Emperor, so that's all about strength. And the Lovers. Okay, so for some reason, relationships keep coming up. If you look at my last video, it was somewhat about the dynamics between the divine feminine, divine masculine, and their individual journeys and what they've been learning and going through. I think the one before that, or a couple before that, I remember the Lovers card coming up as a future influence. So it's like somehow your mind is going to be brought to the attention of your love life, let's say, or of a relationship, whether it was present or past or future. And so here we are again. So there's like Spirit's showing me like there's an interweaving of, how can I put it? People focus on the tangible, on doing what they have to do, on their careers, on keeping a roof over their head, paying their bills, that kind of logical left brain stuff, and some of them don't pay much attention to relationships or to their interpersonal relationships, because this is what matters. This is what is tangible. This is what I can affect. And they don't place a lot of importance on relationships or their interpersonal relationships, whether it's workmates, colleagues, bosses, friends, lovers, intimate relationships, family. They don't place a lot of energy on that. But what Spirit's pointing out to me is these times, it's like we've got to do what we've got to do in the 3D, but we're also it's like relationships and work is being melded together, so within our psyche. So if you think that, oh, I don't want to have to think about that, that's something I haven't had luck with, or that's something that I've had great luck with at times, and I'm single at the moment, or whatever the situation is, it doesn't matter. Like, for whatever reason, it's possible that you're putting love on the back burner, or you're less concerned about your interpersonal relationships and more concerned about what you have to do for yourself. And Spirit's saying from here on in, there's this melding of the two. So we're not just going to grow in one area of our lives. We're being encouraged to be more self-aware in every area of our lives, if that makes sense. There's this mix and melding going on. So don't think that, it's like we're entering into the year of the horse, the fire horse, which is really exciting, especially after the year we've come out of. And it's about really stepping forward with passion. The reason I said brought the horse up is because they often put blinkers on horses, so they'll cover the peripheral vision of the horse's eyes, so they can't see off their sides of their eyes. They can only see forward, and Spirit's saying the blinkers are going to be removed for you if you are only focusing on one aspect of your life, and you're saying, oh, bugger the rest. They'll sort themselves out along the way, or whatever. They're saying that the reason this card is here is to remind you that everything's important. Everything's important, and everything will grow simultaneously as we grow. So it's more of a holistic. For some reason, the influence from the divine is for a more holistic growth, rather than a compartmental, success here but failure there kind of thing. So this thing of, you look at life force, it does this like two waves, one's going up, one's going down, and the up is creation, the down is destruction. And so it's like, when my work life is great, my relationships, and when my relationships are great, my work life struggles. Like, it's this thing, and I've always encouraged people, find your balance through the middle of that, so you're not on the roller coaster ride of life. Find your balance by centering yourself. and becoming more self-aware, and then you're able to have the headspace to manage all things at once and not compartmentalize. There's something in that for somebody. So there's been, it's like an inner recognition recently, or in the last few months, of the need to move away from people, places, environments that no longer serve us. It's become quite obvious to us what we've been, why we've been picked up from here and put over there. Some people are feeling like, I didn't do this, this happened to me, and I was put on another path. And that's from the divine. So it usually happens after a tower, where there's been a shift in awareness or a sudden ending of something, and then the process of healing or the realizations after that are around the acknowledgement of, it doesn't serve me to be in this environment anymore, or this place anymore, or to go to that place anymore, to mix with these people, or whatever it is. Spirit's acknowledging that within some people in the collective, there's been this process of realization of, I don't need to do that anymore, or I don't need to see those people anymore, I don't need to go to that place anymore, I want to move house, or whatever it is. I want to move away from what no longer serves me. And that, what that does is it opens up potential within you to then recognize all of the doors and windows of opportunity that are there for you, and you can choose what to take advantage of and what not to, where to place your energies next. Okay, and I want to remind you to place your energies within yourself. It's not always about what's out there in the big world. It's not always about getting gratification or validation or hoping that the next thing's going to be better and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's great to live in hope and have great, positive thoughts about what you're stepping into and all that sort of stuff with enthusiasm and new energy and stuff. But if you don't have that feeling within yourself, if you don't feel solid and centered and secure in yourself, if you are still harboring some of the old cyclical behaviors or thought patterns and beliefs about yourself or about the world or about your career or your love life, what doesn't matter what it is, if you're still hanging on to old thought patterns that then make you play out old behavioural patterns, then expect the same. Expect more of the same. So I'm hoping that you have been doing or are doing your work on yourself to do some inner reflection, to sit with your emotions and let yourself feel things and learn from experiences. Even if they don't make sense at the time, just be with yourself. Know thyself and before you step forward, because otherwise you're just asking for more. If nothing's changed within you, if you're not doing anything different or thinking or feeling anything different, then expect more of the same. Because it means you're not learning your lessons, you're still running away from what you're meant to learn. And I'll tell you, some people have been really going through a hard time for some time now. And if you are running away and distracting yourself from what you're meant to observe within yourself or around a certain dynamic that played out, you went through all that pain for nothing. So I don't know why I'm saying this the way that I'm saying it, but I'm like really being told to encourage people to really, develop their relationship with themselves, get clear within themselves of who they are, who they're becoming, who they want to be, what they're letting go of within themselves. You could be letting go of people, places, whatever, but also what are you letting go of within yourself? What are you going to stop doing that's no longer serving you? What are you going to stop thinking that doesn't serve you? What are you going to stop feeling about certain situations because you're not looking more deeply, you're not letting the pain out or the anger out or whatever. So it's affecting the way you perceive things. That stuff needs to be cleaned up before you can actually step forward and expect something different. And there'll always be challenges and always be potential or perceived obstacles or areas for growth will always be pointed out within us in what happens to us in our lives. And we just keep learning and growing. And each time we do that, we respond differently to the challenges that are put before us in the future for having learnt those lessons. So just it's not always about, I need to get away from certain people, places. It's also, what do you need to let go of and get away from within yourself? What have you been distracting yourself from looking at within yourself? And so we're being encouraged to sit and take stock of who we are today. This is a very masculine energy, the Emperor, and this guy has climbed these mountains behind him, major challenges and major lessons learned, and that's earned him the right to sit in that throne. And he has great wisdom, and he's very grounded and does things very deliberately. This is a serious guy or girl, because it's the energy. It's a masculine energy, but I could be talking to a woman or a man. It doesn't matter. So acknowledge what we've been through and sit with who we are today, seeing our strength because of it. Stop putting yourself down and thinking, oh, but I wanted this to happen and it didn't happen, and whatever, and looking at all of the sadness or the disappointments of the past. Process that stuff, as I was saying. Let yourself feel it and let yourself get to enough clarity where you learn it, because as the emotions dissipate through the mind and the body, you start to get more clarity and more strength. We don't need to know the answers as to exactly why certain things played out the way that they did. Who are we moving forward? That's what this is about. And so I keep hearing this thing, sit with yourself. Sit with yourself and listen to the thoughts that pass through you and take notice of the feelings that pass through you as it pertains to yourself. How do you feel about yourself? What are your thoughts about yourself and who you are? Develop your relationship with yourself. And then you'll be able to take solid, deliberate steps forward, rather than feeling like the opposite of this would be someone who's just reactive. Oh, that bouncing off the walls just from having one bad experience after another, and it's a reactionary path forward. This is a deliberate path forward. But we get to this space by knowing ourselves, it's like really nurturing and being there for yourself in a way where you really take notice of how you feel about yourself and your life, and what you're catching your thoughts that pass through your mind. As you might say, oh, I want to go and do that. Oh, I can't do that. Well, what's the point? As I was saying earlier, what's the point? Or, is anything good going to come of it? I don't know. So what's the point? So it's catching those thoughts and saying, actually, the point is me. The point is that I'm worthy of it. It's an activity that's worthy of me doing. It has value because I enjoy doing it. I feel better when I do it. What if it doesn't work out the way I plan? Doesn't matter. What if it does? What if it works out better than what I planned? What if I do it for another couple of months or years and I end up doing something else instead after that? It doesn't matter, because you've been feeding your strength and enjoying doing it in the meantime. It all serves a purpose. I hope this is making sense. We're kind of going, Spirit's getting me to not just take the cards on surface value, to actually look underneath, what's underneath. Okay. So the theme of relationships or unions or reunions seem to be coming back into the mix, moving forward. In that, our focus is going to be put there. You can be as serious as you want about what you want to achieve in your life, but if you think that your interpersonal relationships, so there's a relationship with self, and then there's how we relate to other people, right? In whatever different circumstances or dynamics. If you think that that's not important, think again, because it is going to be thrust up in your face if need be. All right? These are times where Spirit's not mucking around anymore. The universe is not mucking around anymore. Not that they ever were mucking around, but there was more leniency before. Now, it's almost like it's getting to the point where if you negate something or make the wrong decision on something or whatever, you get almost going to get instant consequences for it, and put it that way. So if you're not looking at something, you don't want to look at an area of your life that, you know, needs some healing or needs some change, or it needs some awareness brought to it, Spirit will bring about circumstances where you're forced to. Okay? It could be, for example, that you are wanting to focus on your career, just as an example, could be anything, you think that the more energy and passion you put into that and ignore the relationship stuff, that your life's going to improve and be better. But in actual fact, this will hold you back. What you're not looking at, what you're pushing aside or distracting yourself from or running from or whatever, what you're neglecting to look at or process and heal and whatever, that is going to get in the way of, so the unseen is going to get in the way of what you're looking to achieve, okay? Because you're just not working in a balanced way. It is very much about balance, very much about balance. In order to move forward and achieve great things for ourselves, we have to be self-aware and it's like when you go to clean your house and there's one corner of a room that you go, oh no, I don't feel like doing that, or I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with it. It's what you don't want to deal with. That's it. I don't want to deal with that. So the house is sparkling clean except for this area or this particular room that's just a dark, dusty, unorganised mess where the windows never get open, the shades never come up. And it's just like, oh, I'll just put all my mess in that room. Yeah, so the house is your psyche and you're compartmentalising. And if there's been a mess within your interpersonal relationships, that's just cornered off into one room, and we shut the door on that. Blinds are down, the windows are shut, the light's never turned on, the door's never opened, there's sheets thrown over furniture or boxes, and that's it. That room doesn't exist in my life. But, well, it does. And that room, you can do all your wonderful feng shui and all your wonderful cleansings and all your wonderful cleaning to make the rest of the house fantastic. That room's going to be an anchor that's going to keep you stuck. That's what we're talking about here. How amazing, Spirit. Thank you. What an interesting way to put things. So for some reason I'm getting this message. It may not be for everybody, but I'm getting ground yourself, clear yourself, Get happy in yourself. Find your passion and then act. Whether it's on the relationship or whatever it is, it might be about. I don't want to find examples or put a theme on it. Everyone will understand what it is for them. It's like start looking at life's not always about what you can achieve, and it doesn't have to be so serious all the time. Go and connect with nature. Go and interact with people. The nature here represents innocence and beauty, like coming at something with respect for what it is, for its importance, for its role in our life. Yeah, thank you for those words, Spirit. And approaching something, giving it the respect that it deserves. That's how I treat nature. That's why Spirit's getting me to talk the way that I'm talking. And take a look at having more self-awareness around who interferes, what behaviours within you or the other person interferes with things going smoothly. Is it the opinions of others that you empower by speaking to them about your problems per se? Let's, for example, is it what then comes out of their mouths that tarnishes things for you within your relationship with others, or makes you perceive things in a certain way, but those people don't have the full picture of what's going on? So get aware about the dynamics that are actually playing out and look at the intent within you and the intent within the other person moving forward. And the rest will work itself out. Look at what the intent is between you both and see whether that's a shared intent, whether you really both want to accentuate and uplift each other, accentuate each other's lives in positive ways and support each other and that kind of thing. All the qualities that, like, what's the point of being a relationship if you're not feeling uplifted and if you're not reciprocating that? It's not about always feeling uplifted. Please don't assume that I'm saying, oh, it's always got to be great, otherwise get out. That's not what it's about. We go through, cycles and ups and downs, and we are there for each other, and we face life's challenges with each other. Problem shared is a problem halved, for example, all that kind of stuff. But when I'm talking about uplifting, I'm talking about the person's intent towards you and what's your intent towards them. Is it to lift them up? Is it to support them? Or is only one party feeling that way? Okay? But there's something about the approach. It's like get yourself right. Get yourself grounded. If you see what we have here in this picture, I hope you can see it. There's a beautiful, beautiful woman here, embracing, fingers entangled, embracing this young man. Now, he's very passionate. To me, he comes across as like an Aries type, and I'm not trying to pigeonhole all Aries, but it's the archetypal theme of Aries, which is young, passionate, doesn't always think before they act, that kind of thing. And he's quite sad, unhappy, whatever. She's embracing him and comforting him. She's wearing brown. She's very grounded. She doesn't have any loose threads or she's tied up all her loose ends. She's done her work. Yeah, she's coming from a place of absolute strength and beauty, and she brings beauty to the relationship. And it seems like Spirit's saying to me, if you've always been this guy, feeling sorry for yourself, losing hope within your relationships, only seeing things from your own selfish perspective, whinging and whining about what you think you should you are entitled to or should have in terms of the way the relationship should be, or what you know, always focusing. It's a childish, immature, emotionally immature person who, you know, if they don't get their own way, they cause a fuss, or they feel sad, they go quiet, or they have to feel like they get what they want whenever they want it. And if they don't get their own way, they things are not happy, or they feel sorry for themselves or whatever. And so if you have always played that role in relationships, which would be very confronting to look at that, but if that's what the role you've been playing, or within certain circumstances within your relationship, that's the role that you play, Spirit's saying flip over to becoming this person, this grounded, beautiful person who has worked on themselves enough, and they're not insecure. Everybody has insecurities, right? Nobody's fully healed, otherwise we wouldn't be here, right? So we're always going to have things that challenge us. It's not that this person doesn't have the same challenges or unmet desires or whatever that the other person doesn't have, but it's their approach. It's how much they look after themselves, and it's not about being selfish, but it's about working on yourself so that you are strong and clear, and you have a strong relationship with yourself. You know what your intent is towards others, and you look for the same intent, equal intent, equal reciprocation of that intent and energy from others. And she gives supportively, but she doesn't allow herself to fall into the hole that person's put themselves in because of their attitude. Okay, she thinks differently. So if you're someone who's been playing this role, lift yourself up out of that and learn the lessons that you need to learn. Everything I said pertaining to these cards, and then you'll step into your power. Then you're worthy of taking on the responsibility of somebody else's heart and being able to equally trust them with yours. Interesting. And other people don't get a say in it. What other people think or what they have to say based on what they perceive or what you've told them, that it doesn't matter. Other people's opinions don't matter. And they don't interfere with what's going on in the relationship. When things get tough, you knuckle down and you work out, how does this person actually treat me? How does this person make me feel? If they treat you like you've never been treated before, as in a good way, you feel more love and support from them than you've even given yourself before, let alone received from somebody else, then you're on a good thing. Right? Take a look at yourself. So a lot of self-reflection sort of going on here, and development of our relationship with self and clarity within self, so that we can come to a position of power within ourselves, and then we'll feel much stronger moving forward. So it's like that kind of has to happen. That's why the songs make sense. It's like keep forging forward, but not in an unbalanced way, in a way that is balanced, in a way that strengthens you from the inside out, doing things that make you feel good, setting things right, and having the right intent. So take a look at, some people need to take a look at, when I was trying to do this at work and trying to achieve this, or trying to convince that person to let me do this, or something to that effect, what was my intent actually? Why do I have this feeling that I need to be allowed to do this or have this, or what am I actually trying to achieve? Why am I trying to achieve it? And if you peel it back and peel it back and peel it back and go under and under and under each level of awareness, You might find that, you know, when you're a kid in the playground, you felt like your perception of the situation was other kids always dictate what we do and what games we play, for example. And so now I want to be the boss. I want to be the one that says how it plays out. And I want to be in control of what I want to achieve and whatever else. And then go under that and under that and under that. And you'll find because of the insecurities, unhealed insecurities, there are fears of losing out, which then can show up as selfishness. Of it's all about me. Your focus is so much about feeling sorry for yourself and always noticing and putting energy on what you perceive you don't have, rather than having gratitude for and feeding what you do have that's good. Yeah. Then it's this self-fulfilling prophecy, because it's a negative inward perspective. It doesn't provide clarity or strength. It just makes you feel sorry for yourself. And so the antidote to that, a lot of people go into their ego and say, well, I'm going to get out into the world and fight for whatever I want. But they don't look at, why do I want that? It's to compensate for how I felt when I was younger, or what happened to me 2 years ago, or whatever. Will it actually help me in any way? Because I'm causing other people strife. I'm causing trouble for other people. If I push and take that position or do that thing, get permission to have that thing or whatever it is, I'm denying someone else that opportunity. Do I actually want that opportunity? Why do I feel I have to get it? Why do I feel the need to fight for something that actually is not going to improve my life that much, is not going to, the whole process of attaining it is destructive for me. It's destructive for the good things that are going on in my life that are serving me. So really questioning your own motives. Interesting. All right, I was going to say I'll leave it there, but what we have is the death card, which is all about inner transformation. Outwardly, it's about changes that you decide you're going to do. It's changes that you bring into effect. This is the opposite of the tower. This is actually changes that you bring about for your own life. And they're saying step forward with a spiritual perspective. Let the gains that you wish for to be more spiritually based. So more about your internal growth and clarity and understanding of self, rather than about getting that new car or, you know, material stuff. Okay, and it speaks to this process of transformation, of inner transformation. Okay, and as I said earlier, you can get into exercise or doing activities that strengthen you physically, and that's the beginning of you feeling stronger inside. All right, it makes you, if you can find the strength within yourself to do things that challenge your body. Pardon me, I just need a sip. Then you can have the fortitude to do the things that challenge you spiritually, emotionally, mentally, that make you stronger in those ways. And you do that by sitting with yourself and looking at it and feeling, being aware of your thoughts, and then feeling the associated emotions, whether you need to express them or just allow them to pass through you. A lot of that processing can happen during exercise, just walking, or yoga, Tai Chi. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Hope this, I know it got quite heavy, but it really is a message of keep going. Find your strength, find your truth, keep moving forward with that. Do not put your blinkers on and have a compartmentalised situation going on in your life. look at everything and grow in every way, okay? And you will soar. Nothing will get in your way. Okay, so I'll leave it there. All the best. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, yeah, just have a great week, have a great month, and I'll probably do Aquarius season navigation video soon. Okay, bye.